April 10, 1912. The whole world is talking about an amazing new ship. Its name is the Titanic. The ship is getting ready to leave on its first trip across the ocean. It is going all the way from England to America.
I'm Nanda. Welcome back to another episode of Dream Girl Nanda. Today, I'll take you back to the tragic story of Titanic. I'm sure most of you will be knowing about this Titanic story. This is the book which my mom brought me. After reading this, I felt so sad. So, I'm dedicating this video and my painting to all who died from the Titanic and who survived. Let's start.
Newspapers call the Titanic the Wonder Ship. They say it is like a floating palace. The Titanic has restaurants, a post office, even a gym with a toy camel to ride. The fancy rooms are on the top decks. On the lowest decks, there is a squash court and a swimming pool. The Titanic is the biggest ship the world has ever seen. The ship is almost 4 city blocks long and is as tall as an 11-story building. Best of all, experts say the Titanic is the safest ship ever. They say it cannot sink. Why? The ship doesn't have one bottom, it has two. One is inside the other. The lowest part of the Titanic is divided into 16 watertight compartments. If one compartment starts to flood, the captain can just pull a switch. A thick steel door will shut. The water will be trapped. It cannot flood the rest of the ship. 2 or 3 or even 4 compartments can be full of water. Still, the Titanic will float. The Titanic has another nickname, the Rich Man's Special or RMS Titanic. Some of the richest people in the world are sailing on the Titanic. Their tickets cost more money than a sailor earns in a lifetime. Not all the passengers are rich. Some have very little money. They are not traveling for fun. They are going off to find a new home in America. At last, the big moment comes. The Titanic is ready to sail. Crowds line the shore. Flags wave. A band is playing. Passengers come out on the decks. They wave goodbye to their friends. The engines roar. Slowly, the ship steams out of the harbor. The Titanic has begun its first voyage. No one guesses this will also be its last. It is April 14, 1912. The Titanic is in icy waters off the coast of Canada. It is almost midnight. The ship is quiet. The sea is smooth as glass. The air is biting cold. Passengers have a good dinner. Some of them are still playing cards. Most are asleep in their rooms. It is a good night to be inside, but the lookout must watch for danger. He is high above the ship in the crow's nest. He stares into the darkness. Suddenly, the lookout sees a dark shape. It is a mountain of ice, and the Titanic is heading right into it. The lookout rings an alarm. He calls, "Iceberg straight ahead." A seaman is below, steering the ship. He tries to turn the ship away, but it is too late. The giant iceberg scrapes along the side of the ship. There is a bump, a grinding noise. It doesn't seem like much. Some people don't even notice. But the captain hurries from his room. He goes down below. He wants to see if the ship is hurt. Soon, he learns the terrible truth. The iceberg has hurt the ship badly. Water is pouring in. 5 of the watertight compartments are already flooded, and that is too many. Nothing can be done now. It seems impossible. but it is true. The Titanic is going to sink. The captain gives his orders. Wake the passengers, radio for help, and make the lifeboats ready. The captain is afraid. He knows that 2,227 people are on board and there are only enough lifeboats for 1,100 of them. The passengers do not know this. As people come out on the deck, they laugh and joke. Some are in evening gowns. Others wear life jackets over pajamas. But they are not worried. They still think they are in a ship that cannot sink. Get in the lifeboats, the sailors tell them. Women and children go first. Men go only if there is room. Many do not want to get in. The ship seems so safe. The little lifeboats do not. The sailors are in a hurry. They know there is trouble. They rush people into the lifeboats. Some are only half full, but the sailors lower them anyway. Many passengers are far from the lifeboats. They are the poor ones. Their rooms are down below. They know there is trouble too, but they don't know where to go. A few try to find their way. They go upstairs and down halls. Some are helped by seamen. Most just wait below. In the radio room, the operator calls for help. Other ships answer, but they are many, many miles away. One ship is not far away. Its name is the Californian. This ship is only 10 miles from the Titanic. It could reach the sinking ship in minutes and save everyone. The Titanic's operator calls again and again, but the Californian does not answer. It is late at night and the ship's radio is turned off. No one on board hears the calls for help. The Titanic tries to signal the Californian. It sets off rockets that look like fireworks. Sailors on the Californian see the rockets, but they do not understand that the Titanic is in trouble, and so they do not come. On the Titanic, the band is playing. The music is cheerful, but people are afraid now. The deck is slanting under their feet. The ship tilt more and more. The lower decks are underwater. 2 lifeboats are left, but the sailors cannot get them loose. Hundreds and hundreds of people are still on board, and by now they know their end is near. An old couple holds hands. The wife will not leave her husband. One man puts on his pet's clothes. I will die like a gentleman, he says. Some people jump into the icy water. A few are lucky. They reach a lifeboat. The people in the lifeboats row away from the Titanic. Everyone is staring at the beautiful ship. Its lights are sparkling. The lively music drifts across the river. Then the music changes. The band plays a hymn. One end of the huge ship slides slowly into the ocean. The music stops. There is a great roaring noise. A million sparks fill the air. The other end of the ship swings straight up. For a moment, the Titanic stays pointed at the stars. Then it disappears under the black water.
I will continue the remaining part of my story in my next episode. Thank you for watching. Have an awesome day. Still, if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe right now and don't forget to press the bell icon, like and share this to your friends. Thanks again.